morning and happy Monday, everybody. We are live right here on KENS 5 talking weather. And finally, we have some changes on the way in regarding more fall-like air. You know, earlier this weekend, we had some rain, storms Friday night and early Saturday, which we'll take a look at the rain totals from this past weekend and then also what's up ahead for Halloween and for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. It's going to get a lot better. It's just going to take some time, just a couple of days until we have some colder weather on our hands. And if you have any questions, comment down below. We can definitely break down the forecast, go hour by hour if you have any questions, I should say. And then we'll take a look at some of the storm reports, Halloween, rainfall totals, and also the latest on Hurricane Melissa. Category 5 about to hit Jamaica early tomorrow morning. So a lot to break down. It's a little active. And in our forecast, we had some fog this morning, slowly lifting and clearing out. And we'll see a sunny day with highs in the middle to upper 80s, above average. And then by Wednesday and Thursday, a lot cooler. But again, if you have any questions, comment down below and join the conversation. Outside right now, it's mostly cloudy, as you can see over Calaveras Lake, San Antonio International. A few breaks in the sky on the northeast side. You can see a few breaks in blue. And that's showing what's going to happen later this afternoon, mostly sunny skies. All right, so let's talk about this right here. How much rain fell over the weekend? Well, depending on where you're at and where you're watching from, it varied, obviously. So, for example, Helotes picked up 1.1, Bernie 0.6, and there were a few rain gauges around Bernie that ranged from 0.6 to an inch of rain. Hondo 2.4, Canyon Lake 1.1, and Del Rio, it should say Del Rio, it says D Rio. Del Rio picked up 2.5 earlier this past weekend, so from Friday night to Saturday morning. Let me just make sure that is spelled correctly. There we go. And then Alamo Ranch 1.4, Stinson 1.46 as well. And then Schertz around 1.25. And then Medina Lake saw pretty good soaking rain. Wasn't what we need, but hey, it's something. 1.4 over Medina Lake in northeastern Medina County. So that was the rain over the weekend. And some of these storms were severe. So for example, some of these storms produced hail up to like quarter size, straight line wind reports between Canyon Lake and Kendall County, some hail reports in Bandera and near Del Rio. Now, the most significant was a confirmed tornado. So it happened Friday night between like 10 p.m. and midnight. There was a tornado warning from here to Canyon Lake. Jeremy Baker was here Friday night covering it. And then this past weekend, the National Weather Service went out to see the damage and survey the damage and concluded that it was an EF1 based on the tornadic winds, the structural damage to property, cars, yards, you name it. And it was 20 miles in length. That was the track of the tornado. Usually these tornadoes, when they occur around San Antonio and across south central Texas, they usually, they drop down, then they go back to the base of the cloud and they drop down. But this was a 20-mile track tornado of damage, near Kendalia, near Sisterdale. As I zoom into eastern Kendall County, you'll see some of these communities pop up right there. So there's Sisterdale, there's Kendalia. So far eastern Kendall County is where some of that damage was reported. So, so this particular report was about 4 miles southwest of Kendalia, but, significantly farther away from Bernie, but northeast of Bernie between there and Canyon Lake was some wind damage, and some of that was tornadic. So that is the latest of the storm reports and some of the damage across south central Texas. All right, so we're just, 4 to 5 days away from Halloween. It looks great. Friday night looks awesome. Mostly clear skies, very low humidity, and that's all going to start with cold front tomorrow evening. But, trick-or-treat time probably around 6:50 to 7 o'clock to 8 p.m. And temperatures will be, I think it'll be perfect. The winds will be light, 5 to 10 miles an hour, and overall very comfortable for Halloween. And leading up to that, a little warm. 88 today, 89 tomorrow, depending on if the cloud cover clears fast enough. But again, this afternoon and tomorrow afternoon, expect sunny skies, highs in the middle to upper 80s. And then right now we go from 89 Tuesday to 70 on Wednesday. That's like a 15 to 20 degree swing and daytime highs. And then the mornings get even cooler, 50s early Wednesday, and then upper 40s early Thursday and early Friday as we go into Halloween. So lots of awesome things to talk about in our forecast. All right, meantime, Category 5 Hurricane Melissa. This is on approach to Jamaica. Matter of fact, it's about 80 miles offshore, and this is going to have a catastrophic impact on Jamaica. I mean, it's continuing to drive in nonstop, clouds, rain, high surf. I mean, this is a Category 5, which, by the way, earlier this morning around 4 and 5 a.m., we had an update from the Hurricane Center. Latest advisory put it at 160. Now, as of the 10 a.m. advisory from the Hurricane Center, it's at 165. So the warm water of the Caribbean is just fueling the storm, and you can see the eye perfectly from up in space on satellite imagery. You can see it spinning right there about 80 miles south of the coast of Jamaica. And the problem is, on top of the intensity, it's moving so slow. It's moving to the west at 3 miles an hour. And if that continues, it's just going to be a catastrophic hurricane. Matter of fact, the latest update from the Hurricane Center, despite it making landfall, west of Kingston and south of Montego Bay, it's going to maintain Cat 4 to maybe Cat 5 status, making a second landfall in eastern Cuba as a Cat 3. And that wind field is going to stretch anywhere from Cuba to the Bahamas to, western Haiti, for example. So prayers for the Caribbean, prayers for Jamaica and Cuba. I mean, they are really going to be bracing for impact for these next 48 hours from Hurricane Melissa. 74 at the airport. Same thing at Stinson. More humidity in the air is helping produce a little bit of fog out there. Some patchy visibility between Highway 90, Hondo, San Antonio, Gonzales, I-35. The most dense is out near Rock Springs. That's down to 0 mile visibility. And some areas like towards, where's that? East of Gonzales, towards like LaGrange, for example. There are a few areas east of there seeing some low visibility at this hour. Right now, temperature 74 in the city. We started at 63 this morning. Right now, we're at 74. 72 at Floresville, 70 at Bandera, 75 at Randolph, 72 at Eagle Pass, near 80 already at Carrizo Springs. There's a lot of areas south of San Antonio that's already seeing mostly clear skies. That's going to help their temperatures rebound. Okay, so after the clouds and fog clears, we should see a sunny sky, highs in the upper 80s, 88 degrees today, 89 tomorrow, and a front moves in Tuesday evening. We're thinking like 4, 5, 6 p.m. or so. And then tomorrow night, I think you'll notice the winds start to pick up 15, 25, maybe 30 miles an hour. Some gusts higher than that. And then Wednesday morning, 53 with a high temperature of 70. And then late Wednesday night into early Thursday, upper 40s. So we have some significantly cooler weather on the way compared to where we've been these last several weeks as fall began. It's just been so warm lately. Look at the Pacific Northwest. They're in the 30s and 40s at this hour on some of those higher elevations. Vancouver, 43. Portland, Oregon, 45. Denver at 50. It feels more like fall out there. Also across the Northeast, very similar. Here in San Antonio, 74, a mild 74. Now, going forward through tomorrow and Wednesday, this low will move across the Midwest into Tennessee, Kentucky area. And what that will do is put us on that western side of northerly flow, and that will transport some cooler air in our direction. And again, I think the front moves in sometime tomorrow evening, 4, 5, 6 p.m. or so, and you'll feel it with those winds, moving at like 30 to 40 miles an hour at times, some of the occasional wind gusts. So we have the front that'll be moving in, and that'll drop highs from the upper 80s, the middle to upper 80s, to the lower 70s, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday for Halloween, and lows a lot cooler. And also keep in mind, Saturday night into Sunday, we fall back. Daylight saving time ends and standard time begins, and as a result, we fall back 1 hour, and we gain an hour of sleep. This is the one we like. We don't like the one in spring where we spring forward. That's where we lose an hour of sleep. But when you fall back, you gain an hour of sleep. So something to look forward to. And then the following week, a little warming trend. And then hopefully by, the 5th or 6th of November, we get another front coming in. And we're hoping for that to happen. But right now, the strongest front in the season, tomorrow evening into early Wednesday. And that'll drop highs to a more comfortable category. 70s as we move into Halloween, with lows a lot colder in the 40s and 50s. So Wednesday through Saturday, feeling a lot more like fall and chilly in the morning. I would say sweater weather. 40s and 50s for overnight lows. All right, guys, have a great Monday. Hope you have a great week. For any additional updates from the cold front on the forecast, download the KENS 5 app. It is free in the App Store. Any additional updates from our Mets, any of the high-res forecast guidance, we'll have details on the KENS 5 app. In the meantime, enjoy your Monday and Tuesday. Morning clouds and morning fog clears to sunshine. Highs in the middle to upper 80s today, 89 tomorrow. Probably some morning fog again early Tuesday, so leave a little extra early Tuesday morning, and then a lot cooler Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday as we approach Halloween.